Hello, today I'm in Marijampole in southwestern Lithuania. I have here a Soviet war memorial which was opened or reopened, I suspect, in 2005 thanks to an agreement between the Russian Federation and the local government here in Marijampole, according to what the sign says on my right. I've had a little walk around and all the people here seem to be officers. So I'm going to take you around now, and I'm going to start off here, in fact, 'cause this gentleman's even got his picture. There he is. I think that's quite a nice gesture. There we have him. So, Mr. Kuznetsov. And we don't have any dates on any of them, but we have the rank, such as major, such as the elder lieutenant. So what's that mean? Senior lieutenant. So obviously not quite the same ranks. There we have a captain, and so I'll take you around and make one or two comments. Lithuania, after years of being occupied by Russia, became independent in the aftermath of the First World War. As a direct result of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, which started World War II. Let's not forget that the Soviet Union was one of the two countries that started the Second World War. Lithuania was occupied. So that happened in 1940. In 1941, Nazi Germany invaded the Soviet Union, and as Lithuania had been occupied by the Soviet Union, then it became a battlefield as well, not for very long, because it was occupied very quickly. Marijampole was recaptured by the Soviet Union on the 31st of July 1944. Now the sign which we have there says this is for the victims of the war 1941 to 45, but let's not forget at all, no matter what the Kremlin says today, that the Soviet Union invaded Lithuania in 1940 and deported huge numbers of its citizens to the interior of the Soviet Union, the gulags, many of whom didn't actually come back. Now it is also worth pointing out as well that for the Jewish population, 95% of whom became victims of the Holocaust, and the number one reason for surviving the Holocaust, if you were Lithuanian, incidentally if you were Polish as well, was because you were deported by the Soviets and you survived the deportation to the interior of the Soviet Union. Having said all of that, I wish to make it absolutely clear that the people we have here, such as this Mr. S.N. Kamalov, a major, he is not responsible for this. The people who were here were probably, on the whole, they were people who were forced into the Soviet army, even though they're all officers. In fact, there was one I saw, here we are, hero of the Soviet Union. There you go, 6th of February 1945. So presumably he was killed somewhere in East Prussia or in Poland rather than here, or maybe he died here after suffering wounds. That's also possible. Here's another hero of the Soviet Union. There you go, 28th of February 1945. And but the fact that they're all officers suggests to me that they've divided this between, especially the one place for the officers and there's another place for the men, unlike British cemeteries where everybody's in it together. Here we have another hero of the Soviet Union. So it's Senior Lieutenant Balandin, and who fell on the 30th of December 1944. I need to point out that this is one of the best kept Soviet war memorials I have seen anywhere. Admittedly, I haven't been travelling around Russia for some time, but I even witnessed in Ukraine war memorials that had been destroyed by the Russian army. This shows you how little respect there is for the dead of the Second World War by Russia today. Now, it also needs to be pointed out that, without doubt, that we talk often a silly question that Hitler was worse than Stalin, or Stalin worse than Hitler, depends on the way you look at it. But as far as the population of this town was concerned, on a proportionality basis, then Hitler was worse than Stalin. There was more people murdered by the Nazis in the 3 and a bit years of occupation than were murdered by the Soviets in the getting on for 50 years of occupation, anyway, 47 years, something like that. But at the same time, it's a bit like saying, well, it's better to be shot than to be hanged, sort of thing. It's not a good argument. Today, Lithuania, having experienced Kremlin occupation, is very strongly on the side of Ukraine in the current conflict. And I noticed that by the amount of flags, Ukrainian flags, I've seen here since arriving today. Good, so I hope you found that interesting. A very quick walk around, largely because I don't know a great deal about the place, but so I couldn't say anything else. But for the moment, from me, Marijampole, Lithuania. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.